I think Hell might be a nicer spot than where Adrish was at, personally. But to each their own, you know what I mean?
The stream has started.
Nah, I mean.
Yeah.
Where's Discord?
Oh, look at my bloody face.
Do you want to
How
get
we
clean?
didn't die last week, I don't know. But we didn't, so.
But
Yay.
it was, you know, some luck.
Lots of luck. It was lots of luck.
A lot of stupidity.
Heals, a lot of heals.
And the dragon not getting its breath weapon back.
A lot of heals.
It was primarily the dragon not getting its breath weapon back. I'll tell you that
No.
right now.
I mean, to be fair, we were rolling some like dodgy rolls, so like I feel like things evened out.
Yeah, like, you started stupidly, you know, with horrendous rolls to begin with. And the dragon rolling great, getting its breath weapon back constantly, and then the roll switched. Where the dragon missed Finn with like...
Well, thank fuck for that.
The dragon missed Finn, I think, with 3 tail attacks.
It's because I'm built like that. And I finally got some big boy armor, so it was kind of nice.
Yeah, the dragon's tail attack has a plus 11 to hit.
I'm
Damn.
built like that.
You have 18 AC. You need to roll below 7 to miss you.
Yeah, I'm built like that. He was frightened of that mean mug.
Sure.
Hey, look, he's dead and I'm not, so we good.
You know,
good.
maybe he's dead.
Oh, don't remind me.
What do you mean that motherfucker was crying for his mother?
Facts.
Who was his mother? We didn't find out anything about his mother, right? In the cave.
Yeah, well, didn't find him about him either.
Yeah, true. We didn't even learn his name really, other than the boss health part.
Yeah.
Should have tried to talk to it. Maybe it could have been a friend. Actually, we did try it, didn't we?
No, you didn't really.
But no, I started the fight with like, maybe we can resolve this peacefully. Why do you need to eat dwarfs? Like, I'm gonna eat you! Okay, I guess this is what we're doing.
Sure. So Goni, that do we do a recap, or was that the recap?
I mean,
Yeah,
nah,
I don't think much happened other than the...
No, give me 2 seconds. Come on, you know how to connect.
Yeah.
Session 92. Alright, are we aligned, Hig?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's important for me to do the recaps as well, just to remember that I may put down notes.
Jeez. Alright, so from my notes, like I said, we cooked a dragon. And upon the dragon's defeat, we hear something quite interesting, where our foe, on its final breath, utters the words, "I'm sorry, mother. You were right." Following
I should
that,
have gotten married in my
yeah,
youth.
that was the worst mistake of my life. Preceding that, Adrish and his demonic friend appear to be locked in conversation as Adrish slowly walks towards a floating crystal. If I remember correctly, it was above a pool.
Yep, a pool of dark liquid.
And as he gets closer, Drish begins to feel a tug on his very being. and while seemingly in pain as he approaches this crystal, continues forth nonetheless. He's taunted in the process by his demonic entity, his demonic being.
Well,
Call it.
why you got to diss my shadow, calling him a demon?
Because as far as Finn is aware, like Adrish just summoned the demon to kill the dragon, right?
Oh no, the demon was eaten.
Oh.
The demon was fully consumed by the shadow.
The shadow tells Adrish he isn't strong enough, as he's unable to feel anything, and claims that he needs a little bit of a push, and actually physically begins to push Adrish as he slowly begins to sink into the pool below the crystal. Do that real quick. Adrish's body is actually slowly being pushed through a barrier, whilst the shadow is absorbing dark swirling energy, and upon complete submersion into the pool, Adrish sees a scene of dark, of grey, of ash ahead of him. As he looks towards the sky, all Adrish is able to see is land as far as the eye can see. And as he looks towards the horizon, he appears to see that land swerves towards the sky. It's almost as he's in a sphere that engulfs his entire being. And he also feels as if there's someone else there. After a while, the shadow grabs him by the neck and yanks him and throws him out of the pool. And then begins to say, congratulations, old man. You have survived and you now have the first key. You have seen my prison and you must find the rest. And in Adrish's hand lays a triangular crystal rod. Following Adrish's interesting episode, we then proceed to walk through the corridor of darkness, and on the other side, we encounter shouts of joy and jubilation and glory on all sides. As we see the two dwarves that are already ahead of us being hoisted up by the droves and droves of their allies. And in the heat of the moment, and in all of his excitement, Finn grabs the arms of both Adrish and Vave and exclaims, "The dragon has been slain." Again, reigniting the raucous shouts of the dwarves before him. And I believe that's what I have.
Yeah, that is where we ended. So, let's get some celebration on. Nope.
Ooh.
This celebration music does not function. Is this celebration music working? Celebration? No.
Huh?
Uh. How about this one? Doesn't sound like very celebratory. where's my horns and blows? You know what? Back to her it is. Hurdy-gurdy to the rescue.
Mhm.
So, yes, the battle is won. With the dragon's death, the seemingly endless waves of shadowy monsters begin to dwindle, and the shadows dissipate around you. retreating from the magical light that the torches and the clerical magic has produced. You still see the brightly burning small projectiles that they have thrown over you before. Those ceramic spheres filled with a magnesium blaze. And as you stand in the ovation, the dwarves hoist you up in the air as well.
Mm.
Strong hands
Yeah.
grab you and lift you above their heads.
Oh, I could get used to this.
Of course you could.
Finn is just giggling.
Adrish imagining skeleton army lifting him up in the air, chattering. It's an army of zombie dwarfs controlled by one mind. And as you are carried across the waves of hands, more cheers and shouts raise. As you look around, you see dwarfs embracing each other, shaking hands, and slapping each other's back in cheers. Others cutting small notches in the handles of their axe, seemingly a marking of the foes that they have slew in this battle.
Hmm.
But farther away from the battle, as where you are being carried, you see that as the dwarves marched forward in their advance, you've seen in the battle that they moved their wounded towards the back of the line to protect them from the torrent of shadowy creatures. And behind the cheering ovation, you see a much more somber crew. Dwarves laid down on small blankets and stretchers, some being bandaged up, others covered with another blanket. Just by the look of it, it's difficult to tell how many has fallen, how many ended up injured or maimed, but quite a lot. As far as you can see by the lights of the torches, you see these small encampments of the wounded. And even as you are carried to the back of the line and placed on the ground in front of the one of those battle war machines, one of these odd carts with metal plating and large spikes in the front, which atop stands Dermot, all of his arm in a sling, heavily bandaged, his other hand resting on the head of his great warhammer, looking over the sea of cheering dwarves ahead of him.
We're walking up to him, right? This is Deadwood, right?
Yeah,
The king.
You're
Does he look? He's about to give a speech.
No, he looks a bit grim compared to all the cheering dwarves beside you.
I'll walk over to a body and cast animated. No, I'm kidding.
Don't you fucking dare!
You don't have to walk over there. It has like a long range, right? It's a 60-foot range, right? So why would you walk over?
This is as good a place to start as any.
You know these are strong. Strong, durable corpses.
Blood for the blood god.
So, Durford descends from this war cart, hanging the hammer on his back, using his freed up hand to sort of hang himself down from the side, and drops down beside you. He approaches you while his, sort of advisors are scampering to get down from the cart as well. Walk with me if you will.
I nod.
That will do. As long as you promise to walk slowly.
Aye. A lot of you done a great service to me and my people. What those boys have told me that you've done in there is... Well, we only hear such things in legends.
Well, those men of yours are no small part of that. Without them, we would have been crushed by the dragon.
Oh, yeah. They are fearless, foolish, and loyal to the bone. I am
That they
glad
are.
to have them.
I accept
Yeah, I
2 of
remember.
those things. I'll
The-
tell you which ones.
You should have seen Pant. The moment you passed through that barrier, he wasn't able to follow you. Something blocked his path. Turned around, jumped back onto the army. I don't even know how many of those shadow beasts he slew. Probably just to vent out his rage that he couldn't face the dragon.
Did he survive?
Nothing can kill that idiot. Or at least I haven't seen anything like that could. He'll be banged up, bent all his spikes, and will drink for 3 days, but probably won't even take any kind of healing. That's what he is.
Perhaps.
But a lot has fallen. We suffered great losses. But thanks to your work and the bravery of my men, we will thrive again. The mine
What
can
is that?
reopen.
What is that room down there? It doesn't seem to be part of the mountain in a certain way. It's almost like you're transported somewhere else.
Well, the prospectors just said that they were tunneling into the wall and stumbled upon this chamber.
We were inside, we didn't hear any of the sounds of battle outside.
Would it be possible to potentially have the entrance or the lair assessed with some form of dwarven magic?
Aye, we will investigate. Search through that chamber thoroughly. I do not want one of these other beasts, whatever it was. It was a dragon or shadow or both. I will never want to see another rear its ugly head in my home. If it wasn't for all this nonsense that's happening around us, I'm sure we could have faced it. With the magic
How does it
failing,
even?
the gods.
How does it?
Speak up.
Sorry, how did it even get into the mountain? Or has it always lived there and you just happened to find it?
Well, I can only tell what I heard. Apparently, when they broke the wall, it was already in there. But they saw no exit. That's why we made our advance on its layer, so it couldn't escape, retreat, or circumvent us. Did you see any kind of other entrance while you were in there? Any kind of chimney or hole it could have come in? That would be a
No,
very dangerous situation if we had an entrance into our lower levels.
no, nothing like that. But there was a strange pool of shadow magic. Some kind
What?
of,
What magic?
well, the kind of magic that I am proficient with. I have read you of it for now.
Huh.
So it did give me a vision of a strange, strange place.
Well, then
But that's my burden to bear, not yours.
I guess then we are in double in your doubt. Double in your depth. Well, time to head home. A victory like this deserves a celebration. To celebrate those who are victorious, to celebrate those who have fallen. Will you join us?
Once again. Yes, yes, yes. Once again, we celebrate and we mourn. We could not save so many.
A battle always carries loss and victory, no matter the true outcome. Both sides loses and won at the same time. Some might won on the battlefield, others might won a glorious death. Depends on what they seek.
But I doubt their families see it that way.
I'm sorry we weren't able to do it.
Sorry, what did you say, Connie?
Hello?
Hello?
Sorry, I just didn't hear you clearly what you were saying.
Oh, I said sorry we weren't able to do more.
Well, I'm ever so grateful for all you have done. It is more what we could have achieved on our own. I know if you weren't here, our losses would have been even greater. We might not even succeeded. As you walk alongside the wounded and the dead, you see that their foot sort of sometimes stops for a moment, places a hand on a kneeling dwarf who sort of trying to patch up a wounded, and they stop for a moment as the king puts his hand on their shoulder, and they nod and get back to their work. No words are exchanged, but the meaning of the gesture is clear.
I sort of look at Emma and I sort of give her a nod.
I will look at Finn and I will give him a nod.
As you nod at each other, you see that as the king walks forward, the dwarfs begin to form once again. Well, not as tight lines as on their march towards the battle, but they begin to follow their king back to their kingdom. As you see behind you, these dwarfs, still some leaning over each other's shoulder, praising the gods and their fallen brethren for their bravery and the power that they given them to defeat their foes. As they pass by the wounded, you see that those scars that were used for the battle are laid with the wounded. They sort of begin carrying them on the back. And other dwarves pick up stretchers to carry their comrades around along the way. And as the king walks in the front and you behind it, from behind you, you begin to hear not only the cheers and chatter of dwarves, but a song. A song that's somber but prideful. A song of victory that was achieved through great loss and fighting.
Hey,
A
someone
dwarf.
lights on fire.
Fuck you. a dwarven song of bravery and power that echoes in the corridor. And you're sure if any kind of creature of the Underdark watches this army march, they will cower in fear because they know that this army is victorious.
I cast comprehend languages.
I can understand Dwarvish. So.
Yeah, if you understand the lyrics, it's even cooler. It talks about how in the fallen and are now raise their mugs to the living in Moradin's hall. How their weapons are forged in the greatest blaze, and that fire burns within their soul. And how how they will raise their mugs to Caledlin's eggs, and how they will praise the power of Moradin's soul forge that unites all dwarf spirits.
Aw.
And the king marches on in the front, head raised high, with his people walking behind him. You pass by the last of the small encampments where the dead and wounded have been placed. And the high-spirited dwarves are singing loud behind you now. Some are even blowing horns to celebrate this victory. Would you guys give me a perception check?
Nice.
Everyone's tired. Everyone's feeling horrible.
Oh my god, Idris.
And then there's Finn.
Yeah. Lucky
I want
bastard.
The net money.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, the server's being slow.
Adrish got a net one.
But I got kind of in the middle.
That sounds like
Balance in all things.
So,
It is me that brings balance to the force.
while Adrish is engulfed in his own thoughts about, maybe having a fully loyal and unwavering, brave army behind you is not even that of a bad idea, and maybe becoming some kind of ruler of some kind of land is, being a baron is fine, but maybe expanding this domain could be also an option. And Emma is just vibing with the music.
Yep.
Finn, you look forward because the king walking in front of you walks with such power in his steps. Even though he is wounded, even though, he watched his people die, He keeps his head raised. He keeps his pride is not his own, but his pride in his people. But as you look forward, something else catches your ear. There's the great ruckus coming from behind you of singing and horns blowing and all sorts. You realize that there are replies. It's not just the bouncing back and forth along the cave walls, but somewhere in front of you, horns are being blown. Rapid blows of sound with urgency. And you see the king begin to slow down. His stride slowing to his feet dragging on the ground. His shoulders slump.
How close are we to the king?
Well, as he slows down, you sort of catch up to him.
Your Majesty, is everything okay?
You look at him and you see the color drained out of his face. His eyes are wide and he's almost mumbling under his breath. And you notice that the sound of cheering has died down behind you. A couple more hoots and the last sounds of singing disappears, and the entire army listens to those rapid blows beyond the horizon.
Is
Music stopping equals Emma becoming anxious.
Alpha Dart within reach?
Alfredar actually rushes up from the troops beside his king, listening to the sounds, and he looks more worried than the king himself.
Mr. Alpha Dart, is everything okay? What are those sounds off in the distance?
No, Master. Oh, jeez, this guy's voice. No, Master Flovin, it is not good. Those sounds, those mean there are enemies in the hall.
How far away are we from the hall?
As he, several hours.
Okay.
But you marched for a couple hours to get here.
Mm.
You sorted. Come on, music player. I know you can do it. Why are you not playing these tracks? You played the other track. Okay, guess you will play this one. As he proclaims this, you feel this cold chill run through the entire army. This is almost the entire force of the Dwarven Citadel. They left behind a couple people to keep the forge running, to keep the people safe. But if they are under attack, what will remain when they arrive back?
Oh no. Finn. Emma. The mother.
Sorry, what?
The dragon. It said something about its mother.
No, you don't think.
Something about his mother being right. What if it wasn't mournful? What if it was
Spiteful.
gloating?
Vengeful. As you turn to each other, you
How long
hear.
would it take to get there if we flew?
How would we fly?
Adrift?
I am completely drained from. There's nothing left.
I have an idea about that address.
Finn, can you hear us? I don't think Finn can hear us. Should we go to the other server again?
Probably.
Yeah, sure.
No.
Okay, hello?
Hello, can everyone hear everyone?
I can hear you.
Yo, yeah, I can hear you guys.
Yeah, we're testing if this voice chat works better.
Is it just me or is Finn muffled? By the way.
Speak up, Gunny.
Hello?
Nice. Not really muffled, I would say.
Is that better?
Oh my god, yes, I have no idea what you did, but that is way better.
He started speaking into the microphone.
I'll move my mic closer to my lips.
But yeah. So as you begin to panic and try to figure out something, Derfoot snaps out of his stupor and begins shouting orders to his troops. The dwarves react to their king's commands in a snap as well. Immediately, clear lines are formed. Regiments find their place. The unorganized mass of people walking backwards turn into an army. The dead and the wounded move to the back. And Darfoot finally turns towards Alphadar and says, Alphadar, move them to a cart. I don't think we can put them at risk. Begin the war march. And Alphadar stands there for a moment wide-eyed, but then nods and turns towards you. Please, follow me to a cart.
Of course.
And he sort of cracking his knuckles nervously. This is horrible, dangerous, but there's nothing else we can do, I guess.
Adrist? Pen? I have a way that I could try to help you. Not be so awful. But it requires you both not doing anything for 10 full minutes. And it needs you to be willing to fall asleep.
Catnap?
Yes!
What does that do other than make us
It
fall
gives
asleep?
you a,
Short rest?
yeah, it's a short rest.
Oh, that's actually useful. Maybe once
Oh
I'm
my
done.
god! I know!
Wow.
I know! I've known this since I took the spell!
No, but like,
It is,
won't we just be able to take a short rest on the cart itself?
yeah, absolutely. Well,
I
you
think
know, it
save the
depends.
spell slot. We might need the spell slot.
True.
So,
Mm.
by this time you reach the cart and you notice that the large, like cow-like creatures that pulled it before were pulled to the side, and now on the poles on the side and even in front, dwarfs taken up place, all stone-faced and calm and stoic, of waiting to push the cart forward. Please get on. We shall depart immediately.
I hop on and I put a
Yep.
hand down for Finn. If he needs it.
I grab the hand. Oh, sorry. I grab the hand.
Alright, I will help him up because I can't pull. I can barely,
try
like,
and-
hold him.
I try and take off as much weight from Emma's. I basically lift myself up in it, but Emma
Yeah.
feels good.
You just grabbed my hand to make me feel useful. It's pretty much what happened.
You all bundle up in the back of the cart, and Alfadar stands on top of it. And as he stands, the dwarfs begin to stomp their feet, walking in unison in one place. Their feet slamming on the ground with each stomp, forming a steady rhythm.
Hmm.
And as they stomp, Alfadar, with a clear and sharp voice, begins to chant into the air. But not really chant, but almost sing. And even though, Emma, you speak Dwarvish, this dialect he seems to speak is very old and ancient. It's difficult to make out the words. But you feel there's something more to these words. It's not really a spell, so to say, but something alive.
Oh! Is it the one feature I never use?
I'm not sure.
Song of Rest.
No, 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 not at all.
Not a bard.
That's fair.
No, he's a cleric.
Okay,
But
yeah, no, I don't. I don't
Oddly.
fuck all.
when Alfadar finishes this line, the dwarfs, the entire army reads, each speaking in unison, and as they speak, they begin their march. But it's not a slow, monotone march, but a rapid rush forward. Their face is stoic, their movements almost like clockwork, moving in unison, marching, almost running. And Alfadar continues. When the line is finished, he sings again this ancient, powerful song, a dwarven war march. Would you give me a history check?
Of course.
I've never heard a dwarf or myself known about it.
I doubt you would.
Ah, fuck.
Jesus. Hey,
What?
no matter if you have advantage if you roll amazing.
I know it's like a meme at this point, but I'm basically
You're a
Nick
bard.
Cage.
So, Emma, although you don't really know what is the exact thing that's going on, you've read, well, you were made to read something that comes to mind.
What is it?
In ancient times, these dwarven kingdoms often warred with other nations. And a great power that they called upon is how they moved their troops. When needed, the dwarven armies could march for days without stopping, only resting for an hour or so every day to eat and drink and then march on. But the story is told that when the troops have reached the battle and they fought the opposing army, when their battle was won, many of those who've survived the fighting immediately collapsed on the ground, so exhausted that their bodies crumpled and they died.
Oh no. Oh. Oh god. That is.
Sad,
That's
but cool.
horrible.
These people
But-
just fought like crazy against a dragon and were celebrating their dead. These people are tough as nails.
Wait, sorry, I'm still
This
confused.
is perfectly in character.
It is. Still.
And the thing is, since it is a couple hours, I'm sure most of them will survive. But
Hopefully.
as the dwarves push forward your cart, it's riding at an awesome speed. As Alfadar stands on the front and sings, you need to hold on as the dwarves run at full speed ahead, charging the dark corridor. They do not care about lighting torches. They do not care about the difficult terrain or anything. They run at full speed because that might be the only way that they get there on time to save their home. So, what do you guys do? You're in the back of the cart.
Hmm.
We just do a short rest, I think. And if I can do a couple of short rests, I'll cycle first level spells into sorcery points and the other way around. Because I don't have any pack magic spells left. Yeah, I'm gonna move both my first level spell slots into sorcery points. And then
Fucking short rest cycles. But there's a question. You do not know how long will it take for you to get there. When you were approaching, you were moving carefully, illuminating your way ahead, marching at a steady pace, moving the heavy, unwieldy war machines. Now the dwarves are running. How much time will you have?
I can do the first cycle at least, depending on when the first short rest completes. I'll worry about the next.
Alright, so Adri is going to take a short rest and try to regain some spells. What do you guys do?
I mean, can I get a short rest and heal?
Yes, same. I will also heal.
Alright.
Uh,
Finn's on the short rest. Emma.
Well, I mean, you know that feature I never use? Song of Rest? I'll use it. Because I might as well. So I will pull my hand up to my lips. I keep forgetting that one of my rings is an instrument. And I don't know. Ocarinas fit the mood better than harps at the moment. But yeah, I will shoot on my ocarina.
This is still a D6 because you multi-classed.
It's an extra d6 though. If they choose to regain. If they choose to use a hit die.
Yeah. So, the dwarf's rush continues on as you try to rest, and Emma.
Any
to
friendly
soothe-
creature who can hear me can do it if they're taking
Yeah.
like a short rest.
Only
I
you
don't know
guys
if
are
any
resting.
of the dwarves are. That's fair.
The dwarves are running.
That's understandable.
The dwarves are running at full speed, and an hour passes by. At this point, you would imagine a normal person would have probably collapsed of running for a full full hour at this speed in full plate armor. But the dwarfs show no signs of even tiredness or exhaustion. Each of you have completed a short rest. You can roll hit dice to regain hit points.
Yes, sir.
Okay, short rest. I'm gonna short rest myself.
You gain some packed magic spell slots back.
Yes, sir. How do I roll my hit dice? Or you can just do this, right? It'll just give me the spell slots back. And I hit the short rest button.
I think if you click short rest, it gives it to you automatically. Does not?
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Exactly.
Wait,
Yeah,
do we
and
get
then
to do we have to state how many we're rolling, or do we just rest?
I didn't roll my hit die. Weirdly.
it also won't like automatically roll the extra d6.
It gave me the things back.
Okay.
Oh, now I
I'm
can
max
roll it.
again.
Okay.
Jeez,
there
that's
we
weird.
I took
Why
like
is it
no
rolling the-
damage during the fight.
Oh, I might have long rested you by accident, Trish.
Thank you.
You're not getting that.
We can't keep rolling more, right? We have to pick a number and just go with that.
I think I had 23 hit points before the short rest. And why can't I change it?
You had
23.
23 and
Yeah, I had 23 hit points and just the pack magic slots and 1 4th level slot, which I converted. And 0 sorcery points.
I don't think you had a
don't
fourth level
forget
spell
the
slot.
extra d6.
I had 6
rest.
sorcery points, which I converted on the last cycle.
No, that was the thing. You only had 5.
No, I literally just did it.
Oh,
had-
you
Yeah.
use that now.
Yeah, on the last cycle when I was talking about it, that's what I did.
Alright.
I converted all of my 6 into what do you call it? This thing. So it should be 0, 0, 1 4th level. Pack magic should also be 0. Since I'm resetting the thing again, is there? I can't change the. No, the order didn't gain the charges, so it's fine.
Oh no, I already removed it. From the
Okay,
order.
okay. And I haven't used clairvoyance, so that's fine. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. So then now I can just do a short rest. I got 6 and 7 from the. I'll just do it again instead of Oh, I don't have d8s available, so I just add that, I guess. It's 6 plus 7. 6 plus 7, 13.
Plus
So
a d6
that's,
if you want it.
No, I'm gonna do the d6 at the end. 13 plus. Sorry, 13.
Oh, that's fair. You have more math.
36.
Hig, is my
26.
HP still like just permanently deleted?
Oh yeah, the negative max hit point.
It's still active?
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, I'm at 62 hit points. Okay.
What?
Man, I wish I could take this one exhaustion level away. I would be just fine without it.
I know,
Okay,
right?
and I'll convert those two
Wait,
first
hang on,
level
my-
slots.
My hit
Well,
points aren't being added to my HP.
to convert 2 more sorcery points.
What?
And
That's
I
weird.
will
It,
Oh, yeah,
it,
yeah.
it, it,
Are you
it almost
looking
like
at my CV?
it almost applies the minus 23 2 times. Yeah, why did you? Oh, did you apply the negative to your hit points?
Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Oh, did it do it automatically?
No, I so there's a little slot under your hit points to add the negative max HP, because I see you had more than 82 HP, right? You had like over 100 HP.
Yeah, it was like 105.
Yeah. So the way you do it is you have 105 HP, and then below it I add a minus 23, and that basically reduces your max HP, so you cannot heal above that value. But it does not change your max HP, because if you change your max HP, we can forget about it, and then you have permanently reduced max HP.
Oh, wait, I thought it was. Wait, I thought that's what the effect was.
Yeah, but so your
it's
max
only
HP
until a long rest, basically.
Oh no,
So you need to get it back.
actually it will be for 7 weeks.
What the fuck?
Like, what the fuck?
That's what shadow dragons do. That is an actual ability I took from 2nd edition. But yeah, so basically, imagine it this way, Agony. So if you would try to put your HP to... Oh, no, it would work. Okay, so that doesn't work. But if you try to regain HP now, with like a hit dice...
Oh, is it just gonna stop at?
Yeah, it's going to stop at the point where, you can, like you see, 82 is your maximum HP you can regain.
Oh, okay.
But you still have your max HP as 105.
No, I get it, I
So
get it.
we don't forget it.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right, no, that makes sense. Thank you.
So, during this first hour of the travel, you regain your composure a bit. You shake off the last remaining scares of your last battle with the dragon. I can remove, all the blood from a Drish token. Put all the blood on Wave's token.
Oh, I'm assuming he also did a short rest.
Here, let's put all the wave on all the blood on Wave. Here you go. Nice and blood.
Poor Wave doesn't get a short rest? Come on.
Oh, Wave never rests.
Well, fuck Wave, I guess.
Wave regains hit points like a beast. Five hit dice is almost max.
Does the d6 do anything for that? Almost?
Hey, yeah. 1d6 is just enough to get him up to max.
Oh my god, it is.
An hour has passed of the rush, and at this point you notice that the tunnels that you've been traveling through are much more refined. Just like when you were closer to the mines, or well, to the entrance of the Overland Hall. Less of the natural caverns and more of a formed corridor. And the dwarfs continue to sing and march. What now?
Wha- Like we're still in the cart, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And we're still moving to how far are we? Like, does it look like?
You're not sure how far are you, but you are getting closer.
Okay. I mean, what can we do? Continue resting, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright? Finn, anything else?
Oh, if I can take an hour, I will summon the imp again.
No, I think I'm good.
The poor fucking infantry.
I'm
Actually, no, I'd
probably
rather
just,
short
I don't know,
rest. No, I
comfort
don't need
petting
the
my
imp. Hope is
shadow.
enough. Hope is enough. I don't need the imp.
The poor fucking infantry. And the march continues on. As you look at the dwarven faces, you begin to see a bit of strain on them as you enter the second hour of their run. But they shake off tiredness. You can only imagine that in their minds, they can only see what kind of danger could face their family, their loved ones, their friends, their home. And that gives them more strength. And they sing and run. Not a full hour passes by, and you begin to hear something. Finn, over the clatter of armor and the sing of the dwarf, you begin to hear the roar of the furnace.
Oh, okay.
Guys, we're getting closer.
The furnaces were off when we left, right?
No, one of them was burning.
Oh, okay.
The largest furnace was burning. And it seems that the dwarves hear it as well, as their run begin even more hasteful. They're running at full speed ahead, and with their song mixes shouts and cries of anger and battle cries. But as the head of the army charges through the great gates that you've entered through into the mines, you find yourself at the bottom of this of that center hall. Give me a moment. The Undercity. And what welcomes you is bad.
Cultists? No, please.
The mom?
Would you rather it be the cultists or the mom? I would rather have the mom.
I would rather have cultists. Because at least we know we can fuck them up.
As you
Can we do it? Yeah.
Sorry? What can you do?
No, nothing.
As you
I don't know.
It's the mom cultist.
Oh no, the mom is a cultist.
As you enter the lowest level of the Undercity, the song of the dwarfs die down, and Alfadar sort of stumbles backwards, his voice hoarse and coughing after a long-winded singing. But around you, on all sides, the grounds are littered with dwarven bodies.
Oh, fuck.
And not far away from the great furnaces, well, not the entrance, but doors, you see a large square hole in the ground, as if the stone has been taken away.
I don't like that.
Like it's been removed, like forcefully,
As if it's been
or has
cut,
it been destroyed?
as if it's been cut out completely and disappeared.
Oh,
And you notice that a lot of the dwarves are dead, but some are just fallen. You see some that been pummeled into the ground, leaving no more of a bloody pulp than a dwarven body. Others are still holding onto their pickaxes and shovels and swords that they hastily picked up, facing towards that square hole in the ground. As the army enters, Darfoot immediately shouts orders. The Dwarven army breaks up and smaller troops begin to move into the tunnels, into the upper levels, securing the perimeters and securing that odd square hole.
Hmm. I don't like the square hole.
are we close to Darfur?
Well, you're on the card next to Alfadar. He was in
I'll ask Alfred. Alfred, what's happened here?
Someone must have attacked us. What kind of creature could... Well, I know of magic that could open a portal in the stone like that, but magic is not working right now. Who could have access to such powerful magic?
Well, the cult for one.
Oh no. You say they used our absence to strike?
It's a
Come.
possibility.
Come, I must be by my king. Please, aid us in this need of our hour.
I'll follow him.
As will I.
Of course, I'm pulling up the rear.
See, Alfadar stumbles down from the cart as the dwarfs part, beginning to march towards different entrances to secure the upper levels, but still a reasonably sized force is centered in the center of the chamber surrounding Darfoot, who's still commanding his generals to attend to their assigned troops who are heading in all directions, looking for survivors and looking for attackers at the same time. As you approach, you see two dwarf soldiers still covered in battle wounds, carrying a dwarf miner over their shoulder. the man is covered in wounds as well. He's slumped over on the dwarf's shoulder, and they're sort of dragging him, his feet barely touching the ground. As he being carried over, the dwarven king rushes forward as the two soldiers lay the man down on the ground. Darfoot kneels down beside him, and you see that the wounded miner hastily whispers to his king. And then he stops. And from this distance, you're not able to tell if that was this dwarf's last breath, or if he just lost consciousness due to his wounds and pain. But Darfoot stands up, with a stern look on his face, but still a bit of horror on his eyes. He turns to his surrounding, including you. It's them! The cultists are back!
Oh no.
Like worms, they burrow through the ground. They are attacking on the upper level. All of you, with me. We shall root out this filth once more.
Wait, so Hig, was their actual plan of attack burrowing through the ground?
Hmm?
Was their actual plan of attack literally burrowing through the ground?
You don't know.
I mean, there's a big hole in the ground, right?
Yeah? Well, you know, how else do you enter a dwarven fortress, to be honest?
You don't. You go home
Touche.
and rest.
And die in the hole you live in. And with that, the dwarves begins to march towards the upper level. What do you do?
We follow along. And whilst Emma and Adrish are marching, Finn goes to use the little halfling's room.
Ah.
Oh. Okay.
I think that is probably the weirdest way to say that, you know, I'm going to step out for a second, guys.
It's very thematic though.
As you begin to rush up the great staircases leading up to the upper level, you notice more and more corpses. Even though the dwarves have rushed to defend against the intruders on the ground floor, it seems that the cultists were thorough, attacking all who were in the Undercity. Perhaps to take them down, perhaps just to kill them, or to to prevent them from alerting you. You rush up to the highest level of the Undercity, and you see the great arching bridge crossing to the other side. And you begin walking upwards. You climb and climb in the winding tunnels, heading towards the upper levels. And as as the troops rush up, suddenly you hear shouts from the front.
What are they saying?
Ahead of you, you spot a small group of dwarves, maybe 30, 50 of them, barely armored or armed. Just hastily put on armor, the closest weapon that they could grab. Standing in the corridor, seemingly ready to charge in. But as Darfod's army approach, they turn towards you and rush in your direction. As you push your way forward to near the king, where these troops seem to be heading as well, they all kneel before Darfod, and the one in the front speak. My king is a cultist. They have used some sort of magic to break through the floor of the Undercity.
So IRL Mora is in the other neighbor's yard.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry. I hope you can survive.
Wait, how long are you gonna take?
I don't know. I never know with these things. You can keep playing.
Okay. Like, never know. You just have to get the cat from the other yard, right?
He doesn't have his vest on.
That means literally nothing.
He has this
It's gonna
vest
be-
so he can go on
Sounds
walks.
like be challenging.
It's not on.
Okay, it's fine. Whatever.
And we don't know where it is, so I need to go help find it. And, keep going. Keep going. Perms to use Emma in any way you want, except one rule. Do not cheat on Adelaide.
I must sleep with the
All right.
first she sleeps.
Go scroll and get back as soon as you can. Oh, she's gone already. Good. Oh, fuck.
On Adelaide.
Fucking cat. How many times did that cat escape during session?
Or can you imagine?
Cats are assholes.
Oh. What do we do, guys? Do we continue?
I mean, she could be on for hours. I don't know. I feel like we should keep going.
Wait, what? You want to take a break?
No, it's just, I don't know if if she's back in 5 minutes or if she's back in 2 hours.
Yeah, we don't really know. The way she sounded like it's gonna be alright.
If it's just in the neighbor's garden, they can probably.
That's what I thought. She has.
Fucking grab it. Put on that. Okay, whatever. Yeah, let's move on and hopefully she'll get back soon. So, where was I?
The dwarves came up to the king or something.
Oh yeah. They all kneel in front of Darfod, and the leader speaks. My king, they have used some sort of magic and broke through the floor. They attacked everyone. They had monsters with them. Things I have never seen before. But they clearly had a goal. They were heading to the vault. My king, they're trying to break into the vault.
Ooh, what's in the wall?
That sounds intriguing.
Well, see if we can stop them.
Please lead the way.
Darfod begins to march down that corridor, and you notice that it's oddly quiet. You all hear the marching foot of the dwarfs beside you, rhythmically echoing, but you find no more dwarven corpses. You head through the Hall of Gathering, where Dermot's throne stands empty. You see no signs of struggle or battle.
Strange.
As you pass through another corridor, you find yourself once again in the Hall of the Gods. But you notice there's a great difference here. The three enormous statues of the dwarven gods now stand defaced, destroyed, broken. Moradin's head on the floor, shattered, his beard lying on the side. Kaladlin's axe broken in half, embedded into his own chest. Dumafion's eyes, which were sparkling gems before, gouged out. His arm snapped off, laying beside him. And you notice that grandiose, ornate door that was behind the statue of Dumathion now open. But not open as it should be. The doors are peeled apart like a curtain parted. The reinforced metal bent out of shape, creating an almost triangular opening at the bottom. The dwarfs stand there for a moment, astounded at this horrid sight of their gods defaced, and you see anger rising all over them. But the most furious seem to be Derford. Wordless, he points towards the door, and his army forms a line with him at the head, charging in. What do you do?
Follow.
We follow.
You step through the destroyed door. You see these enormous marks along the edges, as if someone gripped it with iron fists, bending it out of shape with sheer force. And you see a long, wide corridor. Oh, good. Skrull might be back. But did I understand this message correctly? I don't think you're even going to see him, so I'll be back in like sure. The cat's dead.
Oh,
It's been eaten.
Are you waiting then? What are we doing?
Sorry, I'm just reading something.
can you guys hear that?
Yeah. Oh,
Crunching?
you crunching, yeah.
My bad.
It's okay.
So, you stand in a large corridor. The walls are covered in precious metals and gems, adorned and crafted into beautiful scenes of dwarven history. alongside the walls, you see these pure marble pillars, one on each side every 4 or 5 feet, but all of them are empty now. Some still have the display holders that must have held a sword or some sort of weapon, but all are gone. And as the dwarves rush forward, you notice at the end of the corridor a different kind of crowd. You see hooded figures standing in front of an enormous reinforced door. A door seemed to be made out of entirely made out of mithril.
Have they gotten through it?
No. And amongst the cultists, you see horrifying monsters.
Do we see any cultists we recognize?
Sorry?
Any of a Bloodbane persuasion? Do they look like Ashblade followers or Bloodbane followers? Or is this the
They're-
third branch?
They're all wearing these hooded reddish robes. And as you approach, you do spot some of them wearing the symbol of the master, either on a pendant or painted on the back of their robes. Let me just show you what is standing amongst them.
Ugh.
You see 4 of these lovely creatures. These eyeless, hawking monstrosities of muscle.
Ugh.
And you can only imagine that these creatures might have been the ones who bent that door out of shape.
How
But
big are they?
oh, they're fucking huge.
Huge as in like
Huge.
15 feet?
Yep. They barely fit on the corridor as they sort of stand on the sides, while the cultists are doing something at the door. Don't seem to mind the charging and shouting in dwarves approaching them. With that, would you give me a perception check, Adrisht?
Why me?
Because you have the magic eyes.
God. I also have 3 levels of exhaustion. Just
Adrisht, your
this
eyes.
might be the most tapped that Adrish has ever been. He's literally struggling to stay awake.
Adrish, you strain your eyes because you feel you see something ahead. But you're not sure. You hesitate as you watch the first line of dwarfs splatter on an invisible barrier across the corridor. The ones behind them are unable to stop, piling atop of them, forming a literal mosh pit at this invisible barrier. And you notice some of the cultists even turn, point, and laugh at the misfortune of the fighters.
Can't do anything about that.
So what did you say, Artie?
Said, can't do anything about that.
The dwarves quickly climb out of the pile and begin trying to get through this barrier, charging it again and again, hitting it with weapons of all sorts, until Darfur steps back and calls them to his side, forming once again an organized force, eyeing down these cultists, working away on their precious vault. What do you do?
You can keep firing Eldritch Blasts at the dome.
Is there really
the
nothing
wall.
we can do?
I don't see what I can do. I mean, so here's the thing. Adrish doesn't know what this spell is, right?
No.
Like, no, sure. We've seen it before, though. I think we've seen it happen before to us.
Yep.
So I know it can't be dispelled.
Yep.
I'm not gonna waste spells for that. Do I have? Okay. I think all we can do is wait. Unless somebody has the disintegration spell or a scroll. I turn to Deadwood.
They shouldn't be able to get through. Not without the keys. It's impossible. Love fucking Skrull sending us weird context. It's like-
Mostly keep us in the loop.
Just throwing us random names. The vault is protected by 3 keys. They shouldn't have any of them. I have mine. The secret keepers is... Well, they can't have that. But... Oh no. Good.
Wait, you have yours? Where's the other ones?
As Darfoot tried to reassure himself about the vault's safety, you see a figure. Sorry?
No, sorry, continue.
Got it? Yeah. A figure step out of the crowd of cultists. Tall and slender. The large ropes sort of waving around her body. The hood concealing her features, but her sort of almost burning red locks peeking out from below. The woman approaches the edge of the barrier and raises her head, revealing a beautiful human woman's face. And she smiles at all of you. It's so great to have an audience once again. And you, all of you, came here, even though you knew there's nothing you can do. Isn't this agonizing? That all your friends suffered and hoped that you would get back here, and still you were late. A smile spreads along her face, reaching her ears, and her eyes are twinkling with joy as she looks at you. Oh, you must be their king. I heard so much about you from them. You know, like their last cries for you. Their hopeless shouts in shouting your name as they charge into their death. Oh, was it their food? Yeah, something like that. Oh, and your friends. I know who you are. Dory told me all about you. Oh, but where are my manners? I should introduce myself since I know who you are. Adrisht Einsvok, Emma Koryak, Finn Flowen, Wave.
A smile forms on Adrish's face as he looks at the woman. He walks up to the
Just
wall.
your type.
He walks up to the wall,
You married.
puts his hand on the wall and says, "When you die, that's the one death I will."
I have no idea what you said, Adrish. You cut out like 3 times during your sentence.
I said, a smile forms on Adrish's face as he walks up to the barrier. He puts his hand on it
I'm back.
with his fingers, and he looks at her right in the eyes and says, "When you die, and I promise you that you will, yours will be the one death I won't mourn in others."
She sort of smiles wider, her teeth showing down. She tilts her head, and you notice something, Adrish, as you step closer. Something is wrong about her.
Well, yes.
Her beauty is eerie. You know, her features are too perfect. But under that large cloak, there's movement. Movement a human body shouldn't make. And she leans closer to the barrier as well, just a couple inches away from your face. And in her smile, she speaks. "Oh, that sounds so lovely. But unfortunately, I cannot die as long as the master has use of me. I will live and serve him.
Oh, don't worry. I'll leave you for lost.
I'm sure he has great plans for you as well. Otherwise, he would have killed you all already. I can't wait to see. But where are my manners? My name. You should call me Lady Elena Gloom, the flesh sculptor." And with that, you see more movement beginning under her
Aw.
cloak. And you see the cloak sort of falling away from her frame. Under it, she's wearing this very odd garment. This hooded, small shirt that barely covers her. But the shoulders are cut, as from her shoulders these horrifying appendages sprout. 2 almost tendrils with bladed, serrated ends. And under their hood, these red tendrils wiggle forward, similarly from all around her clothing.
Ah.
Oh, I get excited when when I meet new people. What a lovely, lovely meeting it is. Oh yeah, well, I didn't upload her image yet to Vandry, so I'll just put her in artwork.
I turn to Finn. Is it just me, or was Bloodmane a lot more intimidating?
Definitely wasn't as cute.
Yeah, she just seemed.
No, you're right. She's just creepy.
Yeah, no,
And,
like,
you're already cheating on Adelaide.
you know, I kind of just want to hug her, or maybe, you know, I don't know.
Jesus.
Something about her just doesn't strike fear in me.
She once again smiles at all of you and then steps back from the barrier. Such a shame. If only you silly little dwarven contraptions would be a little bit weaker. But they will. They will fall at the might of the master. And then all your treasures and all your lives will belong to us. Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Listen, bitch, the only life that's gonna be forfeit here is yours.
Honestly, I
Oh,
can't tell what's more annoying is the wall or her voice. I just wish voice would stop.
I mean, if I had another spell, I could make
I sort of turn away from her, lean against the barrier, and just talk to Emma.
But, like, I don't know.
oh,
We could also
Oh.
probably try to cut her vocal cords out eventually.
No, that's too.
you
True,
meanie.
plus a scar would work in her favor.
You know, she
Huh?
always has to hear her own voice. That's probably the worst form of torture.
I just.
Well, I
I
mean,
just
she
want
talks
this
so
Oh, shut up,
much.
they're talking.
Maybe she.
We don't want to listen to you. Go away.
Listen, we're not subscribing to your cult. Okay.
Finn is just watch it. Just watch the back.
I mean,
Whatever you
maybe
pay, you
I'd
will
do
get
it for
back.
a fucking kiss, but you don't seem the type.
Emma, Adelaide is waiting for you.
I said maybe.
No, why would you kiss that? That is disgusting.
Adelaide? Who's that?
A
Oh.
wonderful person that you will never touch.
We'll
And
see.
if you do, I will personally
Oh
stab
no,
you
we will.
up.
No, don't worry about it. We will
your-
personally. No, Emma, don't need to threaten her. She knows she's gonna die. It's okay. It'll come in time.
Ah, if only we had more time to chat.
What do you mean by
But
that?
Bitch, I ain't
Oh.
waiting. Leave.
Oh, but I haven't thanked you properly yet. You've given
Oh.
me such nice gifts.
What are you talking about?
Information. And I just glare at Adrist.
Yeah, I'm not the one trying to cheat on his on a girlfriend.
With the tentacle monster.
I mean,
It's called taunting. Maybe you've heard of it.
You're not taunting, you're flirting.
I don't know about all that.
What the heck?
If that's your taunting, Jesus.
I don't want to say, are you done yet? Can you leave? We're bored with you.
Mm,
We'll leave with you when we have that.
But I really hope we could become good friends.
Oh,
You
do
know-
you? That's too
Yeah.
bad. I don't make friends with monsters.
The master welcomes all.
I don't make friends with delusional idiots.
Also monsters.
Yeah, no, Adrist, I make friends with you. Alright?
I'm not really a monster yet.
Keyword there is yet, bud.
Once I'm through with her, though, maybe.
Oh,
And the shadows start leaking out.
you. Oh,
Oh, Adrist,
Yeah.
stop that.
you're going
I'm
to
just.
you're going to go through me? Well, maybe I. Oh, but you wouldn't hurt a pure maiden like me.
Yes, he would.
I have no qualms about maidens.
He really doesn't. He
What
slapped me for talking before, and I'm his friend. Imagine what he'll do to you.
And what of you, wind blowing? The master welcomes all who pledge their loyalty to him.
I sort of burst out laughing. Shit, he can win.
She's more likely to get vape than Finn.
Oh,
Her
woman,
eye,
you are funny.
Finn, you look at this beautiful that yet terrifying monstrosity. Her form is of a beautiful woman, but her appendages are of a horrifying beast, framing beauty with horror. Her eyes are this reddish tint, almost seem to glow in your direction. There's no difference between any of us in the master's service. All are equal.
We know that for a fact not to be.
All
Well-
will be equal once the master completes his grand
You
plan.
see, lady, listen. All and are not the same.
Also,
Yeah.
the master hasn't come to grovel at my feet yet, so I'm gonna stay away from your little situation over there. I don't
Like,
want none of
it's
that.
totally a cult. Listen, you try to forcefully convert people back near Silvery Moon. You guys just, like, enslaved a bunch of people. We don't want any part of that.
And
All
honestly,
right?
your marketing strategy is kind of bad.
Really bad.
What exactly do
It's-
you guys
You
want?
call him the master? At least give him, like, a cool title or something. I don't
Why-
know, maybe the destroyer of
Yeah,
your
at least-
souls?
Oh,
What is it that you're looking for?
well, you see, Finn? You don't mind if I call you Finn? You can call me Aline.
I'm okay.
Can I call you bitch face? I think I'm gonna call you bitch face.
Oh, nicknames. We should give each
Yes.
other. I
See, I
should.
already did.
I feel like you've been called that. Yeah.
I think I'll call you Grumpy, Moody,
Yes, that makes sense.
Tiny. But
That's not very original.
there are too many dwarfs to name. Maybe I'll think of something when I.
Oh no,
meet them
don't
in
worry your
your-
pretty little head over that. I'm sure you
Don't
can't
worry,
go with
they're
that.
not gonna want to talk to you either. Oh,
You're right. You're right. Once I mash them into a paste, they will have one nickname. That will work. I will call them Slimy. Oh no. That's not good. Pulpy? Ah, Pulpy. That's
Hey,
almost
Finn,
like Puppy.
we should introduce her to our green little friend.
Are you
They have the
insane?
same level of intelligence, right? They feel like they're the same kind of person.
Ah,
Or the
Moldy.
same,
Moldy
well, not
is-
same kind of person, but same level of intellect.
Oh, actually.
You mean yours?
Hey, Dwarf King. Do you want to hand over your keys? That would make my work easier. If you do, I might even spare your people.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
What are you
Oh,
playing?
He has keys for the vault.
No, what do you mean spare his people?
Oh, I mean them. And she sort of gestures over her shoulder, and you see these 30 or 40 dwarfs bound and gagged on the floor amongst the cultists who are sort of some resting their feet on them, some just casually kicking them on the ground.
Oh! I have a key. I have a key. Can I give it to you?
Oh, don't be silly, Grumpy. Only the king has the key. And I'm sure I can deal with that pesky little secret keeper of theirs. Oh yes, I know. I know of your secrets, Dwarf King. Your Forge Master was too friendly to me once we had a little chat. He was a bit pesky at first, but now he will be my friend. And from her side, he sort of pats this burlap sack, quite big,
Oh no.
that is very bloodied at the bottom.
Is it about the
He's
shape
got
of...
a head in there.
Yeah. I'm pretty damn sure that's what it is.
Oh my god, my poor guy, dude.
Wait.
That's...
But you
Oh,
won't
you got
give it-
tarnish? I like tarnish. I'm gonna
You
have to
won't-
wear your teeth as a necklace. Oh my god.
Fucking hell. And you say this bitch is crazy when you start speaking with wearing her teeth. But he won't give it to me, won't you?
Listen, if you stop with this whole cult business, maybe, like, I don't know, we could go out, talk about boys or girls, and like paint each other's nails and stuff. But definitely
Giant
not.
shoulder nails.
Emma!
And I mean all
Adelaide!
of the nails too.
It would be nice. But you know what would be even better? If you joined us. Join the Master's army. You could be, my friend.
And why would
Oh,
I do
God.
that?
I was gonna join, but I have to be your friend? I think I'm gonna... No, that can't happen.
Oh.
Imagine if people saw me with you. Oh my god, the shame.
Hig, is there like looking around? Are there like any stones? Is there anything?
Does she feel? Does it feel like the mask is cracking a little bit at this point?
The mask of what?
Like her, the facade.
Of what?
Oh, that's just who she is. That's kind of sad. Now I actually feel bad.
What kind of facade?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Poor
the
woman.
barrier,
Now I
like,
feel bad.
connected?
Also,
like,
how long has it been? I know Water Force is a time limit. I've been keeping her busy for a while.
Sorry, what were you asking, Finn?
Yeah, so like the barrier is connected to like the ceiling and the walls, right?
Yeah.
Alright, are there any sort of runes, anything glowing from around the edges of the barrier?
No. It seems to be a solid invisible wall. Well, maybe next time. Maybe
Wait, I do have one question though.
you should talk to Darius. He's such a nice man. He told me all about the master, and I already saw how great he's going to be. He's my friend. He should be your friend as well.
You think Darius is your friend?
Yes. We are such good friends. He
Oh.
brings me flowers. Nobody ever brought me flowers before. I
That's
really
because
like
he's afraid of your crazy ass shit, woman. He ain't your friend.
He wants to pacify.
All he wants is to make sure that you don't kill him in his sleep. Nobody will ever like you. Don't you get that? It's because of how you are. It's because of what you are. You can't change it.
You don't know Darius. He's such a nice man.
I feel
He
like I saw him for 10 seconds and I know him better than you ever will.
He looks after everyone. And old Silas, he's such a silly boy. Well, not a boy, he's a man. He's an old fart, but he's silly. He always makes those toys and, plays around with his bones. Like, clink, 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 clink. But that's, oh, it was so nice to get to meet you all. I hope you'll change your mind.
Why would we? You've given us literally no incentive aside from being your friend.
Where
Oh.
exactly?
Which is
And
not
not-
incentive.
Yeah, no, that's kind of a bit of a...
I think you need a spokesperson. Somebody who's better at it than you are.
Now you see, the master will be victorious, and those who are on his side will live on forever in this paradise he'll create
Living
us.
forever? Honestly, that sounds
Wait,
kind of
wait,
like
wait,
a
wait.
curse.
And when you say the master will be victorious, that's assuming a lot of things. Don't worry about that. We take care of it. But I just want to know what do you how do you want your body disposed of? Other than the teeth, those I'm keeping. But other than that,
Well, if you get the teeth, I get the claws. Those are cool looking.
No,
okay, you can keep the claws. And do you want anything?
They
I
make a
can
cool
give you
sword.
I can give you claws. I'm good with making people into different things. I'll show you. I meant to give you a wonderful gift, Dwarven King, them food or whatever, what's your name? I'll leave them in your little forge. Yeah, that will be a good place. And she turns away from the barrier and walks back towards the crowd. Amongst them, you
How long
spot.
has it been? I feel like we've been having this conversation for a while.
It's not been that long. You know,
IRL, it's been like more than 10 minutes.
in the
Just the conversation. Just the conversation.
in the crowd, you spot a figure that you've seen before.
Bloodmane?
Oh,
No, it's
different,
not here.
different than the red-robed cultists. This figure wears a dark black robe, hiding all of his features, even his feet. And all you can see is odd clawed hands poking out.
Oh. Oh.
Give me 2 secs, guys.
Oh.
I think we're done here, servant. But I do want to leave them a parting gift. And you watch as she walks up to the bound and gagged dwarfs. And one of those huge muscle-bound monstrosities grabs two of them by the head and lifts them up. And
Stop.
the woman turns back towards you, Finn, and once again the wide smile creeps upon her face. The smile that goes a bit wider than it should. Her teeth pearly white, and you see that between those teeth these red tentacles wiggle. And she leans in and plants a kiss on the lips of the dwarfs, one by one.
Oh no.
I'll start banging against the barrier.
And the muscle-bound creatures drop the dwarfs on the ground one by one, and you see them begin to foam up the mouth and writhe in agony on the floor. The precious little babies grow up so fast.
Wait, what happens to them here?
Off you go. You see the dark, robed figure extend a hand into the air, and with a vertical, with a cross motion, slash into the air, and along its finger, like it's piercing through the air itself. This crackling of energy breaks through the barrier of the the world, really, and like a slash in the world, you see through it the underforge, the highest level, as the monstrosities grab the writhing figures, and you watch their body begin to boil up. Large boils begin to form on their skin, their flesh is melting, and you see their entire body begin to wiggle around, almost as if worms crawling under their skin. And they toss them through the barrier. Well, not the barrier, the rift in the air, landing on the other side in the underforge, molding and melting into a large pile. Well, enjoy your gift. I'm sure you'll love it, but see you later. And with that,
Remember, don't change your teeth.
the rift closes, and the hooded figure once again steps forward with two hands, drawing a circle into the air slowly.
By the way, they haven't made it through the door.
Sorry?
They never made it through the door, correct?
No, not the vault door.
Okay.
Crackling in the air once more, and this blue circular portal forms. The servant steps aside, and the large hulking figures carry the dwarfs that are still bound and gagged through. The cultists walk through, throwing rude gestures and insults in your directions, and the dwarfs still try to just bang and mash themselves against the barrier, even as Dorf orders them to return to their lines. And you see that he is struggling against the earth to try anything, but he knows there's not anything he can do. Lastly, only the servant and this woman remains. You know, if you change your mind, you're always welcome.
Oh, shut up and fuck off.
Again,
She
no incentive to change our minds. Fuck off.
she puts a hand on her lips and blows a kiss to you, Adrisht.
No,
Ugh.
open the lips. I need to see the teeth again. That's the necklace.
Maybe I'm in love. And she steps through the portal, and the servant turns towards all of you. Its face completely concealed in the shadow of its hood, but it raises two hands and makes a pushing motion towards you, and you see the barrier begins to move. Pushing back the dwarfs towards the entrance of the hall in a rapid motion. What do you do?
I mean,
Therefore-
we're just getting pushed, right? I
Therefore,
was right at the barrier.
Therefore orders a retreat, and his soldiers begins to go back with their weapons raised.
Hmm.
And the servant just stands there, his arm extended towards you, and the barrier slowly encroaching.
And
Isn't a
really
wall of
not what we
force.
do.
Fuck is this spell?
Hey, bro, what did you cook with this spell, man?
Hmm.
The servant lowers these two arms, and it does an odd gesture. It
What
sort
kind
of
of chest?
it raises its head, almost as if looking upwards, but you don't really regain anything by it doesn't reveal more of its face as it raises its head. It's not like it was hanging its head before. It was looking. You thought it was looking at you, but it sort of tilts its head upwards, and you see some odd movement in the dark. You can't make it out, but as if shapes are moving under the hood.
Hmm.
And then it steps backwards, walks through the portal. At the moment it steps through, the push of the barrier lessens and you fall forward. Barely.
What's coming from the ceiling that we can see?
What ceiling?
I thought you said it looked up.
Oh, nothing.
I don't trust it. In general.
Derfoot shouts to his troops. Whatever they did, you've seen it. They dropped it in the Undercity. We must head back.
Undercity?
Yeah, where the forges.
Okay. I guess we make our way there.
All right.
God, I hate to see. That's a Dilish, not me.
The fuck is this? What is this music? Jesus. I really need to go through this playlist.
No, I don't hear it. I heard the last track out, then it stopped.
This was quite quiet. That's good enough. So, with the dwarves once again, you're rushing back towards the Undercity. Now joined up with the resistance that was fighting against the cultists. This small troop is forging its way back through the halls of the gods. Run through the great hall of gathering, where you see some dwarfs have come together, following their king after they secure the sectors. The king just shouts an order to head back to the Undercity. His soldiers make no questions. They join him in his march, and they run. It only takes you a couple minutes to reach the Undercity, but it is already in chaos. From the upper level, you see a mess of flesh glowing. Where the bodies of the dwarfs have been dropped, you see that this odd growth of flesh have grown. And it's encroaching on more and more of bodies. Grabbing wounded and dead alike, molding it into its own body. Growing ever. So what now?
Is there
Wait, sorry,
anything-
what was the last thing you said?
I think
So
we
what
need to
you-
get them bodies away from it. Or at least try. Because if it's, you know, taking them in and growing.
So what do you guys do?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part you said. What did you say?
So that is giant flesh blob monster that is grabbing and pulling bodies into itself and growing ever bigger.
Start blasting.
As you blast away and the dwarfs rush in, cutting it into it with their weapons, the creature reels back and screeches into the air with a shriek that pierces your ear and makes you dizzy.
Does it look like a creature from this plane?
Does it?
It looks like an amalgamation of flesh of the dwarfs molded into this horrifying monstrosity. And I can show it again.
I mean more in the sense that, like, is this something that was summoned and is just growing, or since it's eating things, or is it just like a spell?
Ugh.
More pictures, nice.
Have all the pictures.
We love the
We
pictures.
don't need them all.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
Oh,
banish.
my God.
Alright.
I need a DC 19 charisma save from Blob Monster.
Blob Monster has a chance to make that.
Oh, what?
Okay.
I don't like
Charismatic Blob Monster
No, it just have a proficiency.
in charisma.
How?
That thing doesn't seem charismatic.
That seems. That seems. No, that seems backward.
Or I have a 19.
Meat speeds.
Yep.
Blob Monster is charismatic. Wait, 1 second. I have a thing. No, I don't have that. That's for myself. I can't make others reload.
Mm.
Do you guys have anything? Otherwise,
I mean,
Blob
I'll
Monster is here.
uh,
Blob Monster is going to grow. Blob Monster is going to eat.
Can I start hacking at it?
God damn it! Cutting words won't do shit.
More. It doesn't reduce saves.
No, it doesn't.
You begin to fight the monster with whatever you got left. Hacking at it with your blades, shooting magic in its direction,
I said
And-
I like with the flame rune as well.
throwing fire at it. The dwarves do the same. Cutting it wherever they can, but it's just bloating and bloating. At some point, it overflows the upper level and begins to wriggle down to the lower floor. And what seems most effective is the fire. As the flesh burns, it is a horrific stench. It's the stench of burning bodies, not
So,
just
Not
the
ice.
body. Not the body itself, but when a corpse is burnt. Well, humanoid flesh burning, really.
Ugh.
But as this stench begins to linger into the chamber, Darefoot shouts a comment to this man. The forge! We need to use the forge! Unleash its flame on this, whatever this is! So what do you guys do?
How do we do that? What do we need to do?
We must bring it down to the bottom level, in front of the doors.
I'll start piling bodies in a line towards the.
Jesus.
As will I.
I mean, what else are we
You
supposed to
use
do?
what you got.
There's literally nothing we can do. We have nothing left.
Is there not a way?
I
to,
have
like,
Frostbite, Thorn Whip, and Vicious Mockery.
I have no spell slots. Like, literally zero.
You quickly begin to build a crumb trail of dwarven bodies towards. Down their face, mixing into their beard as they use their own fallen brethren as bait for this monster.
Wait, it actually was. Oh my god. I was
And you-
joking, but okay. Okay.
Hey, you said you're doing that, so you're doing
I thought
that.
it was-
We don't know
I thought
what
it was
else
such a
to
ridiculous
do.
thing to say. Okay, fine. I'm doing it. I guess I'm piling bodies. I'm crying and I'm laughing as I do it.
Licking their eyeballs.
But no.
The
Crying at
gist
the
isn't
absurdity
there
of it.
yet.
Sorry, laughing at the absurdity of it. Crying at the sadness.
And what do you do, Finn?
I mean, can I set my folder glaive alight? Does it respond to that?
Doesn't really have many eyes.
Does it have any sensory?
It's
I
a
not,
flesh
like,
monster.
bodies?
Can
It's
I
a
not,
flesh monster, Finn.
What do you mean it has charisma proficiency? It's obviously intelligent in some way.
Yeah, it is quite
Can
intelligent.
I like lure it with any like rotten meat or like rotting wolf?
Also, I'm
pelts
gonna.
bag?
Yeah.
Can I like waft it?
Oh, Finn, it's quite interested in the trail of dwarven bodies that your friends are making.
I'm also gonna be consistently just casting Mind Sliver over and over. In case somebody uses a spell.
Wait, hang on. Do we wait? I've got a question. Does it respond like just to bodies like being waved in front of it?
You can't really wave a body. It's more on
No,
lines that
what I'm saying is, as opposed to leaving a trail, can we guide it just by
With the
carrying bodies
scent.
before the monster?
Or
Oh,
however it detects.
that's they try to drag the body, the living bodies away, some of the dwarves, but it's even grabbing at the people who are hacking at it.
Okay.
Huh.
Also, how much HP does it have, and how long has it been since it start firing
No,
Mind Sliver?
It's constantly growing. Even when new
Oh.
bodies are added to it, it seems to expand. Just
Man,
whenever a new
where
body is
chill
added
touch
to it,
when you need.
whenever a new body is added to it, it grows exponentially. But your horrifying plan seems to work. It's dragging its enormously bloated form now along the trail of corpses that you've left for it. And even when you run out of corpses, it sort of tumbles down on the last two levels, falling over itself, almost crushing you in its process, and it
God.
rolls down onto the bottom floor, reaching around with its long tendrils, trying to grasp at anything. From an upper level, Darfoot shouts down to you, "Get out of there! Quick!"
Can we like do like like an action movie where they like jump and you see the explosion in the background, slow mo? No, is that too much?
Give me a divine guidance throw.
Ah, you love it. You love it. Come on, Finn. I mean, to be fair, to be wait, to be fair, 10 is average. It's not bad. It's not bad.
So, as Finn plans to jump away, cool guys don't look at explosion style, walk away. Adrish, you quickly reach under him and carry him away like a bag of potatoes.
Ah, okay.
As fast as you could, climbing up the stairs as the tendrils begin to reach upwards once again as it settles at the bottom like an odd sludge. And you watch
I don't like that.
as on the other side, dwarfs begin to roll large wheels, pull on enormous levers, as coal begin to stream into the furnace from both sides, and then pull on a great cogwheel that begins to lift up this enormous plate that closes the entrance into the furnace. Like a knight lifting its visor on its helmet. A blazing inferno inside. And then you watch as these two dwarfs walk beside these large chains on the side, and with their great hammers knock out the pins that held them back. From near the ceiling, you see these enormous stone blocks fall and land with their full weight on these almost house-sized bellows on both sides of the furnace. As the blast of air is exhaled into the furnace, an enormous blast of fire erupts from the open door, filling the bottom layer with a great clang of a ball.
Yo, this would be in like in the movies when someone's just like, sorry.
Yep.
Just one of the dwarves in the back. He's like, sorry guys, I was on my lunch break.
You watched a dragon's breath before. Compared to this, that was a candlelight. The enormous blast engulfs the disgusting flesh creature. It shrieks and screams in agony as its tendrils are caught fire. The immense heat of the blast blows you back and singes your hairs. But as the fire blazes and the exhalation continues, you see as the flesh is burned away. The tendrils shrivel into nothing, into a thin wisp of ash, and they fall away. You watch as its main body begins to shrink under the fire, burning away into nothingness. More and more fire cascades out, scorching the stone around it and blasting down the corridor from which you entered. Until suddenly the fire stops The last blast of air escapes the bellows, and the fire pours back into the furnace with a great gust of wind rushing past you as the fire has burned up the air itself in the bottom of the chamber,
Oh,
leaving
jeez.
nothing but dust. No more flesh monster. No more corpses. No more cultists.
I fall down and sleep.
Um, I go and make sure the doors are okay and try and help with
Mm-hmm.
anything they need.
There are no cheers of victory. There are no cries of glory. The entire dwarven kingdom seems to be stunned at this horror that was unleashed on them. At their darkest hour, that they thought that they could fight off a dragon in their kingdom, another horror descends upon them. But the stoicity and practicalness of dwarves is over-encompassing. Mere moments later, Darefoot begins to order his men around to gather the wounded, to gather the dead, to return to the tunnel and escort the wounded back who are left behind, the ones who don't even know what happened to their home. As you sit on the steps, trying to stay out of their way, as they stoically continue their work, carrying wounded towards the Hall of the Gods, the defaced gods, as they carry their dead somewhere else. And you wait. Time passes by. And as you wait, you watch as some dwarfs walk with somber faces, some still having tears streaming down their scarred and hard faces. What do you do? Beyond, just sitting there and waiting.
I'm passed out of sleep already.
Emma's just numb.
Um, can I go and have a look at Tarnished Forged?
So, Finn, you leave your friends behind resting, and you walk around the circle towards where you remember Tarnish's forge was. Do you remember where it was actually?
Wait, are you asking me?
Yeah. It's not important. I'll let you find it. It's just I'm just curious if you remember.
Yeah, me 2 seconds.
Nah, this is not important. No, it's not important. So
Oh,
you
whatever.
make your way to the second level of the forge, right across from the great. So the second level of the stairs, right across from the forge. And as you approach the small chamber where Tarnish has been working when you found him, quite a crowd has gathered here. You see some of the soldiers that fought alongside you mixed in with the miners and citizens of the dwarfs, as well as some quite important dwarven and people that you've seen in the chamber of gathering when you arrived.
Okay, I slowly approach respectfully.
As you move forward, the dwarves in the back notice you and seem to give you some way. Even the imported-looking dwarves with a little grumble gives you path towards the door. But you can look through the domed doorway. Sorry, you're saying something?
I was just saying, sorry, excuse me, sorry, sorry, excuse me,
the
excuse me.
the Briton in you, just hurt for cutting the line.
Yeah, man.
I love you. I know you love being in queues.
More than you know.
So, as you reach the arch entrance, you look through. You see Alfadar with two other clergymen in deep prayer. Beside them, Darfoot on his knees, his crown resting in his lap. Between them on the ground, now limbs arranged in a respectful manner, the headless corpse of Tarnished.
Oh.
Deep gouges and cuts all over his strong muscled arm and body. His leathery apron soaked with blood. Probably all his own. As you approach, both the clerics and the king looks towards you. Both somewhat quizzically.
Sorry to intrude. I know I didn't know Tarnish for a long time, but I held him in the highest regard, so I wanted to come and pay my respects.
With that,
If that's
Darf
okay.
Darfoot stands up and replaces his jeweled helmet crown on his head. He speaks to Alfadar. I will leave this to you for now. We must prepare. He walks up to you. Thank you for everything, Master Flovin. Would you accompany me? I have need to talk to you and your companions.
Of course.
As the king steps out of the chamber, the crowd immediately parts in front of him, forming these uniform lines on either side. A group of soldiers form a sort of tight circle around the king and yourself, as they escort him across the chamber towards where you left your friend, sort of, just in a pile. Emma
Kind
sort of
of,
leaning.
yeah.
Emma just leaning against the stairs, with Mora on her face. Adri's just like face on the
Mora's
ground,
just
ass in.
licking my tears of
Adris is just
exhaustion away.
Adris is just face down, ass up, passed out on the ground, on the stone. Darfod walks up to all of you. It is not the way I hoped our triumphant return would look like. These cultists, they have done more than destroyed and killed. In the entrance hall of Dunetian, we display our great treasures, creations of our great craftsmen. It is a good thing they could not enter the vault itself, as we keep our legendary creations in there. The creations of old, our ancestors who have crafted weapons, armors, and items of significant power. That was, it seems, what they were after. And perhaps are deaf, and no more. I have spoken with Alfadar and my advisors, and we can no longer approach this issue with how we did before. Like a tortoise in its shell, we are protected by our mountains, but the tenacious beast will pick us out slowly, dig into our shell, and scoop out our soft middle. Tonight, I invite you, well, not a celebratory feast, but feast nonetheless, where we'll remember our fallen and honor those who fought and aided our victory.
We accept. I'm assuming I'm mumbling from, like, I don't know why, but I assume that, like, Mora's tail is just kind of over my lips, so whenever I talk, his tail just moves.
You are welcome to stay in our hole as long as you need. We will open our gates and aid this battle against this evil cultist however we can. I will send my ambassadors to our allies. They must know what occurred here today. Especially our brethren in Falbar and Abdar. They might be the next to be attacked. We are in your debt, heroes, Aegis. If there's more we can do to aid you on your quest against this torrent of evil, we are happy to aid you. And the king once again bows his head towards you and the guards beside him go to one knee and bow their head in honor to you as well. And then the king turns, and the soldiers follow him away. What now?
I think it would serve us some good if we just found a place to rest.
What did you say? Sorry. My ears are
I
bad
think-
from all the exhaustion.
Oh, I think it would serve us some good if we just found somewhere to rest.
I agree. Although, I don't think I can carry a Drist.
I can
He seems like he needs
try. Can I carry a Just? I should be able to, right?
Yeah, it's just sort of drag him.
Yeah. What if I carry him up, like above my head?
You sort of lift him by the shoulders above your head, and his feet are still dangling behind you.
with
Nah, like I lift him up like by like the torso and like under his arm, just like hop, two, hop.
You grab him by the neck and the bum and just lift him up.
Yeah.
And his feet are dangling beside your feet, the face and his arm just in front of you.
I mean, I have a second level spell slot. I could enhance your strength.
But you know, you were told that
Or
you're
I
going
could try to enhance mine to help.
They did ask you to take part in a somber feast
Yeah.
tonight.
Doesn't mean we shouldn't let her Drist sleep. Hell. Feel like he'd be fucking cranky if he up now. By arguing.
I guess you can fit in a long rest before. So, you carry
Sweet.
Adrish's limp body. I guess Wave's there, so you know he can definitely help you.
Yeah, I mean, between the three of us, I think
Oh,
we
hey,
could
you
do
guys.
something.
Oh, hey guys, I was just chilling here while all the shit was happening. Sorry.
God. Uh,
So you carry Adrish's limp body to the chamber that was assigned to you, and all of you collapse into whatever earth, flat and somewhat comfortable surface you can find, and pass out. Not even thinking about, doing anything or, protecting yourself or any kind of watch.
Oh no, I'm gonna learn how to play my. No, I'm not. I'm dead.
Practice your flute by just shoving it into your eye.
No, I
Yeah.
put it in my nose and snore into it.
It's a nose flute now.
that does not sound.
And you all pass out. Cold.
Oh, definitely.
Cold out. Would you all give me a divine guidance roll?
Can you roll for me? I'm not at the table. Right?
And I want to, in theory, ask Mora if he could, like, act as an unlock clock.
Divine guidance, right?
Yep.
Damn.
Let go.
What did I roll?
A 19.
Ooh, that was almost a 5.
Ooh.
But it's Finn with 21.
Damn.
Adrish drifts asleep almost immediately. His mind is only filled with darkness shadows, and possible dreams of conquest and power. Emma's sleep is almost completely dreamless.
No, my dreams are actually about making a nice necklace with teeth on it.
Why?
Because he's going mad.
Well, I mean, I know that, but why? Why would you do that to?
It's the orb. The orb making him. Or the
No,
shadow. No, it's just the drift. The orb doesn't even actually affect him. So Emma,
It just has attachment issues.
your dream is calm. It
Hey.
is just a simple dream. You feel yourself lying back on soft cushions or maybe grass. A light breeze from the window washing over your face. And even though you feel like sleeping, you watch your surrounding and watch as Mora slowly paces around you, his tail swinging back and forth as if sort of circling you in a tight circle, sometimes looking up at you.
Where is me? Ah. Are you
And as
alright?
you're dreaming,
Yeah, I
and
know.
as you feel you're falling yourself falling into a dreamless sleep, you hear Mora speak to you for a moment. You know, with all these horrific things happening, I do wish that sometimes you would take me on an adventure. Somewhere that we would not necessarily face the horrors of your nightmares, but maybe see something wondrous, something exciting. If only. But you drift into dreamless sleep. On the other hand, Finn, my boy,
God.
your night is restless.
Restless how?
You twist and turn in your sleep. You feel yourself drifting through nothingness, through complete darkness. In your hand, the cube, and the cube is dragging you along on this silver thread that seems to just drag you deeper and deeper into nothingness. And beside you in the dark nothingness, you sometimes see these two tall, bearded figures drift into existence, and their voices echo with their past sentences to you. They speak about Akabosh, his periap, how you must find him, how you are capable to find him, and for that you must. How they only wish to be with their companion. How you seem to walk away from this responsibility that you've taken on. How they know that you're close, but you seem to not be willing to complete this request they have given you. And how they feel that maybe it wasn't the right choice to entrust this power onto you. And the doubt makes you turn, twist, and spend the night half awake. A long rest is completed.
It's actually
Hooray.
a pretty long rest for me though.
Ah,
All of you are
God.
somewhat less exhausted.
I am not exhausted.
Oh, you only had one level of exhaustion?
Yes.
Good for you!
Yeah.
You have no idea what time is it, but Emma, you feel sort of Mora is bapping your face with his paw.
I shoot up.
As you as you shoot up, you hear a knock on the wooden door of the chamber you're in.
I guess I will go to the door. Open it. After, you know, kind of jabbing a wrist in the side a little. Get up.
As you open the door, in the doorway stands a dwarven woman. She's wearing the clerical robes of her order, but now accompanied with this odd head garment that seemed to hold her hair in under a cloth,
Hmm.
and a white shawl has been placed over her shoulder. She's wearing a somber expression on her face and speaks to you. I have been tasked to escort you to the Hall of Gathering. We wish to begin honoring our death. And our king wishes that you, if you wish to be part of it, to be there as well.
Of course.
Me and
Ben,
Adris still
Adrist,
asleep.
get up. You know, stretch, do whatever you need to do. We're going to be
Yeah. Yes. Emma, can you do something? I feel terrible still. Do you have anything for just my exhaustion?
Leave, I do. Does greater restoration do it? Because I know something. I can't. Greater restoration.
Yeah. Greater Restoration does remove
Yeah.
one level of exhaustion.
Okay. Cool, I
But that-
will.
And therefore you did regain enough points on the harp to cast it once.
Oh, I still feel run down right now, right?
Oh yeah.
How many points do you have?
No, he has no exhaustion, he's just missing a lot of max HP.
Can that be restored with greater restoration?
Yeah.
That's better. Do that. I can deal with
Who
half of
looks-
it for another day.
Which one of them looks worse?
How much XP are you using, Ben?
Pardon?
Like, compared to normal, which one of them looks worse?
So
What did you say, Adris? Sorry?
No, I was asking
Finish-
out of that. How much XP are you using?
Finn missing 23 hit
23.
points.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So Emma, if you take a look at them, this is quite a change on both. Well, Finn doesn't look tired. He seems actually that this rest helped him a good bit to regain his composure, but he seems a bit slumped, a bit more somber than he usually is, a bit it seems as if he's struggling with something. On the
And
other hand,
Idris just
Adrish,
looks tired.
no, he seems darker than before. It's not just the shadows that leak out of him at sometimes. It is as if the life itself is missing from him that you've seen in him before. And
Oh,
it's not that he's one step closer to death. It is more like as if death is one step closer to him.
oh boy. Um. Well, I don't want Idris to freak out with his looks more than he already does. Um. So I'm gonna pop it on Idris.
Alright. Adrish is down to 1 level of exhaustion.
Uh,
And as you begin to follow the dwarven cleric up through the Undercity, the Hall of Gathering, where you see the entire living, surviving members of Mithril Hall gathered to honor their dead. We're going to end today's session.